The New York Islanders fall to the Vancouver Canucks 5-2 in an evening where they had an opportunity to enter into the playoff scene for the first time in 127 consecutive days. The Islanders, it seems like every time they get close to being able to enter into that playoff picture, something happens. Either the refs rob them of a goal when they should have been in the playoffs. I'm still ticked off about that. Still fuming about it because that would have legit put us in a playoff spot. Even tonight, we would have been in a playoff spot by ourselves, but Montreal would have had a game in hand, only a point behind us. But if we had won the last game, we would have legitimately been in eighth place because we would have been even games with Montreal and we would have had the regulation tiebreaker in our favor, and we actually would have been in eighth place. So tonight we would have been in eighth, but it doesn't matter because we didn't get in. We lost 5-2. And uh, not the greatest of effort by the Islanders. The first two periods were okay, and I'll just go with okay. First, probably a little bit better in the second period, but yeah, big opportunity for the Islanders there, and they chucked it away. They just threw it away. Uh, it's a darn shame. But you know what? Let's be realistic here. Like I said, I'm the biggest Islander fan around. I love the Islanders. I've been cheering for them for day one, and but honestly, this is really not a playoff team. The team that we have on the ice right now is not a playoff team. And if by some miracle that this team does make the playoffs, this will be the worst edition of the New York Islanders we ever send into the playoffs to compete. It's just not a playoff team. Let's be honest. Last seventh and eighth spots could be debated right now. I'd like to think that Ottawa is kind of a legit playoff team, but they've been kind of struggling too. They've been very inconsistent this year, so probably from seven down to 15 in the East is pretty weak. You talk about parity, but it's more like just teams being weak. They're all weak. I mean, you look at last night, everybody, four games the Islanders needed teams to lose, and all four of them lost. I mean, and that's not an unusual occurrence from happening. It's been happening all year. Like the Islanders were dead and buried a month ago, and somehow they've been able to climb back into this, and not with the greatest of winning records. I think the best that we ever got at one point was 6-3-1 in a 10 game stretch there. So it's not like we went house on fire to catch back up and get into this race. It's just the other teams aren't that good either. And uh, we've had a couple of teams that I've go into the playoffs that I never thought would win a would win a cup, but I always had hopes of winning a first round, and I honestly think that with this team, I don't even think you could hope for a first round victory. Like I said, I'll be very surprised if the Islanders make the playoffs, but I'll tell you, it's not from lack of effort. It's not from lack of effort. These guys are giving everything they've got. Sure, they came up flat tonight, and especially in the third period, but that happens. That's hockey. It's an 82 game season, travel. So many things can play a part into that. And it's definitely not from the lack of effort from this Islanders team. I will give them that. They are a hard-working group of not the greatest hockey players in the world. I mean, like when when you take a look at our 6-on-4 and you take a look at the players that we're putting on the ice, just to rattle off a few, like I mean, we got Pajot, Duclair, Riley. I mean, this is 6-on-4. This is playing for your season, and this is what we're throwing out there at the end of the game to try to get us a goal, and we're just not that strong of a team, and it's unfortunate, but the effort has kept them going. But unfortunately, their effort is also going to cost us probably what would have been a pretty good draft pick if we had just kept going along the way we were going. But We didn't do that. So, like I said, I'm more than happy. I'm not cheering for the Islanders to lose anymore. I'm more than happy with them trying to win every game possible, even though I know that there's not a whole lot of talent on this team. But still doesn't mean I can't cheer them on all the way. So anyway, the game doesn't open very good for us. Well, actually, it opens up great. I think it was the 18th time this year that we've had a nothing first period. We kind of got goalied in the first period. Thatcher Demko was unreal, and Vancouver didn't really have any really tough shots on Sorokin. So we definitely got goalied in the first, and Demko was definitely on his game. And it got a little bit scary at the 2 minutes and 39-second mark because Sherwood scores a goal from Hughes and Roenick. Beautiful deflection, and it's just. You've seen Demko in the first period, and you begin to wonder, is this going to be one of those games where the Islanders have a hard time even scoring a goal? That doesn't turn out to be the case, but it becomes worrisome at that point for sure. However, 5 minutes and 35 seconds into the period, it looks even bleaker because we got a penalty, and so now we could be going down 2-0 early in the second. And with the way Demko's playing in the first, that would almost seem like a nail in the coffin for the game. However, uh, one of the nicest plays Pajot has made all year on a shorty. I just love the play that Pajot made. It was a beautiful goal by Casey Cizikas getting his six from Pajot. And I don't throw a lot of love Pajot's way, but what he did on that short-handed goal was outstanding. He came up the middle, and it was kind of like a bit of a 2-on-2, but you could see that Pajot had a step on his guy, and you could see that Casey could probably beat his guy, but Casey was behind Pager, even though he was to the side of him, he was still back a ways. So what Pajot did was he slowly veered off. He still skated a straight line, but he slowly veered off to the corner so that Casey could get his speed up and get into an opening. And at the same time, he's fending off Pajot's fending off a guy. So he's fading away, fading away, fading away, and he actually gets all the way over to the faceoff dot. By the time he whips it back to Casey, and Casey by this time is now wide open and scores a beautiful goal, making the score 1-1. The place goes nuts, and all of a sudden, I've got a good feeling about the Islanders. It's starting to feel like, all right, okay, okay, okay. So we can beat them, and that's huge. Let's kill the rest of the penalty off, and sure enough, we do that. And it's only less than 4 minutes later, Tony DeAngelo scores a beautiful goal. And once again, some really super work by Casey Cizikas as he gets his eighth assist of the year. But DeAngelo, you just gotta love the confidence this guy has. He just took his time, no panic in the play. Casually sort of faded back so that he could make sure that he could get the puck up and into the net. So now the place really explodes. The UBS is going nuts, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm going, wow, this is crazy. We're actually going to go into a playoff spot tonight. This is unreal. But in typical Islander fashion, as it always is, former Islanders have a tendency to come back and haunt us. And Atu Ratu scores his third goal of the year for Marcus Pettersson and Kiefer Sherwood. And that makes it 2-2. And you go, well, that sucks. We had control of the game and we let it go. We let it go. And to let Ratu do it. And the only thing that was comforting for me is knowing that, yeah, sure, he scored against his former team, the Islanders, which seems to happen to us all the time by these players. However, I can guarantee you, Horvat has scored more points against the Canucks since the trade than Ratu has scored against the Islanders. That's for sure. So, if there's any solace in that, we still won that trade no matter what. Then the late goal, the killer, the dagger, the 23 seconds left in the period type of goal, and not a great goal by Ilya. Not a great goal. I mean, yeah, it's just not a great goal. And Derek Forbert, not a great goal scorer, but he scores his second of the year from DeBrusque and Suter, and all of a sudden Vancouver's up 3-2, and the Islanders have lost all control of the game, looked to be completely in the driver's seat. And going into the third period, I wasn't sure what the Islanders would have coming out for this one. And it wasn't really very much because only a minute and 5 seconds into the game, they're into the third period. Teddy Blueger scores his eighth of the year from Connor Garland and Drew O'Connor. Uh, Garland was relentless on that one on the check, but that's just no excuse by the Islanders. There was just no urgency on getting that puck out of our end. So uh, not good, not good. So it's 4-2 early in the third period. Sorokin gets pulled. It's not looking good. You can tell it's just going to be one of those games, and the Islanders come out for a flat third period. They do the 6-on-4 on the power play. Don't really, well, they have a couple of chances. It's close in that, and they continue the 6-on-4 into the 6-on-5, and then eventually Kiefer Sherwood scores his 17th of the year, second goal of the night, put the Canucks up 5-2 at 18:08 from Suter and O'Connor. So that pretty much puts a dagger into the Islanders for the evening, and lo and behold, we're still not out of it with the rest of these clowns. They probably can't win any games either, so we'll probably be in a dogfight right to game 82. But you have to be disheartened that the Islanders couldn't pull away in this game and take it to the Canucks. And the reason I say that is because the Canucks are 5 points out of the playoffs, and tonight a loss would have been almost nail in the coffin for them for their season. Now they're only 3 points out of a playoff spot, and they've got a game in hand. So they've got life. It's not like this is a great team that we had to be worried about or feared of. Elias Pettersson didn't play tonight. He was injured. He went back to Vancouver. So we had no excuse there, but just couldn't get the job done. Couldn't get the job done, but who knows what's going to happen with the rest of the season coming up here. That's for sure. Uh, in the we're just not good enough. Just not good enough, and unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And hopefully, we can get better things in the last few games. Like I said, it's every once in a while you're going to come out with a clunker, and that was a clunker tonight for the Islanders. All right, let's talk about the players. Max Sipikoff. This is not the fourth line's night tonight. The fourth line goes -2 tonight. You can't expect the fourth line to put up zeros and pluses all the time. Eventually, your fourth line is going to get worn down, and tonight was that night for our fourth line. So not the greatest night for Max. 11 minutes and 4 seconds of ice time. He had one shot on net and one hit. Simon Holmstrom, he was a -1 tonight in 17 minutes and 28 seconds of ice time. He had one shot, one block, and one hit as well. Holmstrom, he still looked fairly good out there, but he shouldn't be our first liner. But that's just the situation that we're in right now. And he is a first liner, and he's the best we got to offer. Anthony Duclair, I mean, the guy had a couple of scoring opportunities tonight, but he was a -2 in 16 minutes and 40 seconds of ice time. Two shots on net, one block shot, and one hit, and one egregious giveaway, which was absolutely horrible. This guy, I'm telling you, away from the puck is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. He's like a gopher that pops his head out of the hole every once in a while just to check out what's going on and kind of gets a scoring opportunity. I can live with a player like that. I can live with a player who does nothing all game long except puts up 2 points during the game. There's been lots of players like that absolutely do nothing except just get points. And that's all they do. And if he was one of those players, I could live with that. But he's not even getting us the points. I mean, it's just bad. I mean, I worry for the next 3 years with this guy on our team. I really do. It's not good. If he's not a third liner, we're in trouble. Bo Horvat, not his best night either. -2, 2 minutes and penalties. He had two shots on net and one hit. Uh, Bo always trying to make things happen, but it just wasn't his best night. It wasn't a lot of Islanders' best night. And Bo had 21 minutes and 13 seconds of ice time. He was noticeable out there, but he's always noticeable because of his skating. So, Mark Gatcomb, part of the fourth line that went -2 tonight. So, obviously not a good game. However, absolutely loved the back check from Gatcomb. And then he just buried some Vancouver Canuck. I can't remember who it was, but man, it was a great hit. 11 minutes and 22 seconds of ice time for Gatcomb. He had one shot and four hits. So, other than the -2, he's doing the plugging things that you got to do on the fourth line. Like I said, the fourth line's not going to have a great game every game. That's why they're the fourth line. I mean, there's a reason why they're the fourth line. And tonight just wasn't their night. Pierre Engvall, wow. Holy smokes. +1. Our first Islander with a plus here. Hold on a second here. Wow. There's only four Islanders with a plus tonight, and Pierre Engvall is one of them, and it's well earned. Well earned. He was +1. He didn't get any points. He got five shots on net, and he had a goal post as well. He also had four hits. I mean, if this guy actually played like this for the next 6 years, we got a steal of a deal on a contract at 3 million a year for Engvall. This to me has got to be his longest stretch of good play as an Islander. Uh, I think he's up around the 10, 11 game range there. And I really hoping he takes it home, but he has really been a big spark for the Islanders. I mean, it's also in his back checking and everything. I love the way he controls the zone in the offensive zone. I love how he comes up from the corner and goes against the grain. Going back up towards the blue line, he always seems to make something happen, whether it's going to be a cut over into the middle or whether it's dropping it onto the defenseman or whatnot. But lately, I'm super impressed with Pierre Engvall's play. I thought he was fantastic tonight. Really was one of the best Islander. Well, no, he wasn't the best Islander because that's save that for somebody else. Hudson Bashing, I thought he had a good game. He had three block shots, but he did have one giveaway. He had zeros across the board. He had 11 minutes and 15 seconds. So, uh, third line not getting a whole lot of ice time tonight as well. Kyle Palmieri, a little bit of a rough go. Once again, another post tonight, -1, 18 minutes and 30 seconds of ice time. He did have four hits. But Kyle had three giveaways tonight, and that is highly unusual for Kyle. Highly unusual for him. He also had one block shot as well. So tough night for Palms for sure. Anders, tough night for him as well. The first line was not good. Was not good. They were -2. Anders did get himself four shots on net, one block shot, one hit, and one giveaway. Uh, I'll never question Anders' work ethic, that's for sure. And but it wasn't his game. It just wasn't his game to be for sure. Kyle McLean as the fourth line again, -2 for them, so not good. He had the least amount of ice time of the three at 10 minutes and 23 seconds of ice time, but he did have three hits tonight. Pajot, I thought just had that one play just was everything on the shorthanded and pretty much made up for any kind of bad play that he had been having in the game. He had one block shot, one hit, and one giveaway as well. But only 16 minutes and 14 seconds of ice time, but he was good in the face-off dot tonight. Did notice that. So I'm going to give Pager a pass on the night because of that fantastic play on the shorty for sure. And beyond a doubt, the best Islander on the ice tonight was none other than Casey Cizikas, his best game of the year by a mile. Goal and assist, 2 points, +2, 13 minutes and 19 seconds of ice time. Two shots on net, two hits. He did have two giveaways, but The time that Casey was on the ice tonight, he was very, very noticeable and in a very, very good way. Definitely, definitely an excellent game by Casey. Casey has been really firing on all cylinders in the last 10 games or so. He's been playing really well. Mike Riley looked like he's had most of the season off tonight. He was a -2, 15 minutes, 26 seconds by the time. He did get two shots on net, but he had one giveaway. Not that he was outrageously bad or anything, but he was on the ice for two goals more than we scored. So that's not good. Adam Pelech is in the same category, also suffering a -2 in 21 minutes and 30 seconds of ice time. He had one shot on net, two blocked shots. I didn't think Adam's game was overly that bad, but -2. Uh, I mean, on the 3-2 goal there, I mean, he had to come across all the way for I can't remember who he was making up for. Was it Riley or was it Dobson? And he just didn't get there in time. So there's one of his minuses. It really for Adam, it wasn't the worst game at all. Tony DeAngelo, he was a -1, 23 minutes of ice time tonight. Had a beautiful goal. Love the way he shows his patience and confidence, easily flicking that goal into top shelf, getting himself a goal with four shots on net. Two block shots, one hit. Defensive side of the puck's been very good for Tony as well. Ryan Pulock had zeros across the board, but he did have one block, one hit, one giveaway, and one takeaway. So 16 minutes and 23 seconds of ice time. He had been getting more lately, so there had to be something out there that Ryan or Patrick didn't like tonight because it was down a bit in time on ice. So Dobson was absolutely horrendous tonight. Absolutely horrendous tonight. I got to check the giveaways. They got him at one giveaway, and I'm telling you that is just so not true. It should be up around three, four, five giveaways. It was bad. It was bad. His gap control tonight was horrendous. His I know I've talked about this before. He's a big guy, and many big guys sometimes are labeled as lazy because they look lazy. But man, Noah looks so lazy. It's unbelievable, and I know that sometimes that's just the style of their play, but it just looks really bad, really bad, really bad. So Noah did have one shot on net tonight. Romanov had a good game. He was a +1 in 21 minutes by his time. He had two shots on net, five block shots, three hits. And that's just a typical Romanov game for you and a good one. So, like I said, we only had four players in a plus tonight, and Romanov was one of them. Ilya Sorokin, what can you say? Everybody has an off night. I'm going to call tonight his off night and gives up four goals on 19 shots. And that's not typical Ilya. And Hogberg comes in and does the little mop up duty, faces five shots, stops them all. Islanders lose 5-2, and that's pretty much it. So disappointing night for the Islander fans, hoping that the Islanders would finally get in that playoff spot and finally be looking down at everybody and nobody to have to pass anymore and stuff like that would have been great. But typical fashion, like I said, every time the Islanders get close to the eighth spot, something happens. Like the rest robbed us of a chance to go into eighth spot the other time. We've had other opportunities to get into the eighth spot in the playoffs. In the last 127 days, we've had other opportunities to get in there, and we always lose. And if we don't lose, and if we're 1 point out of a playoff spot, we've lost and got a loser point. But because of the tiebreakers, we don't get the playoff spot in that. So it's always been something. Just as the closer we get to that playoff spot, all of a sudden it just seems like a big iron curtain goes up, and there's no way the Islanders can penetrate through that. So. It's disheartening. We could be in a whole different whole different ball game by the time the next time the Islanders play. Montreal plays twice in that time since we play, and then we're going up against what is it? It's one of the Florida teams, is Tampa or Florida, and the Canes are who we're playing this weekend. So the whole season has a very big opportunity of changing. However, just when you think the Islanders are going to be ruled out, that is when they beat teams like the Canes and the Tampa Bays and that. So you just can't rule out this Islander team. I know they're going to come with the effort, that's for sure. So anyway, I hope all you guys and girls out there are having a great evening. You all take care and peace out.